It's been a couple weeks, but I wanted to talk about the highlights of this party I had, the celebration of 14 years in business, which is so much. As I'm thinking of it, I can't believe everything that we have been through, both the challenges and all the beautiful times that I've had in my business and everything that's changed from the very beginning. And being in that room full of people that are currently in my life and people that we've worked with in the past, whether they're clients, business relationships, and having this mix of everyone together from different parts of my life was truly a special moment. And it did take me a couple weeks to let it all sink in, all the emotion and the fun and beauty of it and the meaning behind everything that happened that night. It was really magical for me. I haven't hosted something like this in a very long time. If you knew me back then when I had my office and my store, we did events, we threw parties, we hired a band to come in, we'd have a food truck outside, or we had catered food inside. It was just so much fun bringing people together. And it was a very, I would say, like artistic community. I loved the outfits. I loved seeing everyone come together, have a good time, and see those connections. And I got to do that again. I got to bring people together and just see where it was interesting because the people that showed up all had something that they had in common in some kind of way, whether it's they worked with me together, they were going through a certain experience, the values that they have. It was really good conversations that night, and I'm really happy. I'm sorry if you couldn't make it or if you're in a different state and you couldn't come out to Seattle for this party. We are going to have many, many more events coming up. Obviously, they're going to be very different from the party that I had. They're not just going to be parties that we throw. They will be a bit more focused on fashion and learning something together or shopping, but it will still be that same kind of atmosphere. Our mission here at the Closet Edit is to help men and women step into their power, to align their style to their goals that they want to achieve and what they want to excel in their personal life. And as I've helped people through this journey, I've also lived that dream myself. And to tell you the truth, when I started the Closet Edit, I was 22 years old. I was young, I had nothing to lose, and I knew that people needed help with shopping. As time went on and as the business grew, I started to grow personally, and the impact of the people that we've helped with the Closet Edit just continued to expand. And now we work with people. The past 4 years, I started working with people in different states and even different countries. And the moment that I remember the most, and I've talked about it a few times, but it was very impactful. There are few moments in your life where you really have this click and you just know something is going to happen, something big. And that happened to me when I was 22 years old and I was telling people, I'm going to be a stylist. I'm going to have an office. I still remember walking into my first office space. It was in Ballard Ave, and knowing something big was going to happen there. I just had this feeling in me. And I walked into that room, and it was that moment where you kind of turn your head and you look through that space and you can see everything that you can create. And it was such a memorable experience. At the time, I didn't have any money to decorate my place. I didn't have money to buy furniture. I had this desk that I found off of Craigslist for free and two fold up plastic chairs. And me and my intern were working from that empty office for months before I was able to actually buy furniture. The way that I started to gain business is right from the start. During college, I did go to school for I almost said business marketing. I went for fashion marketing. So I did have a slight background from what I was learning about PR, making connections, reaching out to people. And I did that immediately after opening my office. I wrote my first press release. I sent it out to a lot of different places in Seattle, which some are still open and some aren't. But one of the places that really caught on to my story and working with me was Seattle Magazine. They came in and they told me, we're going to videotape you showing how to wear a scarf 3 different ways. And, at the time, it's like, you do what you got to do. I didn't tell them my office was empty or anything. They knew I had just started. And they didn't even question it. They came with their camera, and I went next door to the boutique. What's the boutique? Horseshoe. And I was like, hey, Seattle Magazine is going to come over. They're going to record a video. Can I borrow a scarf from you? And I'll mention you in the article and the video. And they let me borrow that scarf, and I did it. I showed how to wear that scarf 3 different ways. And from there, business just started to grow, and it was awesome. I know business is very different now, and how you grow it, how you reach out to people, how you get leads. But at that time, that was a really big deal for me to be in Seattle Magazine right from the start. And the person that ended up coming to record the video and writing the article became a client from the start, very beginning, one of my first clients. And right now, 14 years later, she is still a client. She is still a style member. I've seen her through changing homes. I've seen her through having children and raising them and changing careers. It's such a beautiful process to be able to go on someone's journey with them and see them through it. And leading up to this big party I had been planning, putting so much time into, I did get a bit emotional. I mean, there are so many stories I don't get to share or tell, but one day I will be writing a book. I've been working on one, but I had to switch gears and start writing about something different. But one day I will be writing a book about the mistakes I've made in business, all the beautiful lessons and the success, and just stories in general that are very, I don't know, they're just very touching, and things that you wouldn't think of as a personal stylist going through. I think that people sort of think as personal styling as just fashion related and being pretty and buying designer things. But if you've worked with me, you know it is so much deeper. There is so much more. And the process that I go through with clients that I've created is intentional. I want to get to know my clients. I want to go on this journey. I want to make sure that everything that they buy actually fits them, that they're going to pull it out of their closet. The process I have created to work with clients has been successful and has helped me stay in business all these years. And I want to talk about the party and the theme because I think it's very important. I know it's 14 years and it's not 15 years, and I made this huge celebration. So let's talk about the why behind. I am a true believer that you need to celebrate where you're at in your life right now. I'm not going to wait till 15 years, till 20 years, till 25 years to do this big party. It was on my heart to do this year. And 14 years in business is a lot. Again, I haven't had a party in a long time. I've also been in this place of like a high in my life where things are not only coming together in a new way with my business, but things are really coming together in my personal life. I'm engaged. I'm about to be married July 1st, which is such a big deal right now. I have been married 2 times before. 3rd time's a charm. I'm ready to get into it. But being a business owner and a woman in business is very difficult. I'm not going to say it was an easy road in all my relationships, not just with my marriages, but in my relationships in general. I think people had this perception of how I should be as a woman, and thinking that if we were in a relationship, or that they would change me in some way, I guess. And I, for the first time, have a partner in my life that truly supports me, and it shows in my business as well, because when you have a partner that supports you, you can make big things happen. He really helps with the kids, with pickup, with drop off. He is very, very involved as a father of both of our kids that we have, Chloe and Noelani, and I am grateful for that. I wanted to celebrate our marriage, and I also wanted to celebrate my business and where I'm at today, because I haven't been able to do that in a while, and I feel really grateful for everyone I've been able to help. And being in this place, I never got to celebrate working with people in different states. Before COVID, actually, funny enough, when I was pregnant, I started making this plan of wanting to work with people in different states. I didn't know it was going to be online. So my plan was going to LA, going to New York, maybe 2 times a year, getting a client list that I had there, and then just having clients for a few months. I really loved the idea because I do love traveling and I totally know I could do it. But it was interesting how COVID changed my plans and I ended up just working from home and making it happen. And I never, if you would have asked me even 5 years ago, do you imagine yourself working online and doing something with styling? No, I didn't know I could create a personalized experience online. I did end up taking an online course on how to create online courses and create a business online. And that was really helpful. It opened my mind to this whole new way of creating this experience, and I've done it. And the way that we work with our clients in person is the same as how we work with our clients online. I do have to say that working online takes a little more work. It takes a bit more of extended time, whereas when we're in person, you kind of just get it there and get it done. But you still get the same results, and our clients love it. They love it. And we have clients that keep renewing their memberships and keep working with us because they really enjoy the experience, and it's changed the way that they shop. It's changed the way that they dress and how they feel about themselves. So that is why I decided to celebrate 14 years, and I wasn't going to wait for year 15, although I'm sure I'm going to host another party next year because I had so much fun. And the theme of the party was Shine Bright. The theme of the party was Shine Bright. I believe that when you shine, you achieve big things. You get the courage to ask someone out on a date. You get the courage to write an email to a few people that you've been meaning to work with and really want to partner with. You get the courage to look into someone's eye and tell your story. You can take big steps towards a goal that you have when you have the courage to do that and when you can shine in the light that you have and your story and who you are. And the past year especially, I feel like I've heard so many stories from clients of success in their life after working together. And it's not the clothing, but just being on that experience of working on yourself, on personal growth, on seeing yourself in a new way, stepping into who you are makes a huge difference. So the theme of the party this year was Shine Bright. I wanted everybody to wear an outfit where they felt their best in. And it didn't have to be shiny. I loved seeing the outfits. So I'm going to share some of the stories that people told me. Like, it was so nice. Like, they'd walk in there, they're like, oh, I wore this because of this and that. And some of the stories I heard were Kathy, she was on the podcast before, Kathy Rodriguez. She came in this beautiful long gown, and she was like, it had sequins on the top. Gorgeous. And she told me that she bought that dress at Goodwill for like $15 or something, and she loved it. She felt so good in it. She did a photo shoot in it, and she got to wear it again to the party because it was in her closet. And she was sharing with me how she has a collection of beautiful pieces that she can pull out and feel really good wearing. I also had a client that came and she was like, I'm wearing this dress that we bought together because it makes me feel sexy. And it was beautiful. We did photos together in her outfit and she was feeling hot. And then I also had somebody that, Gina, I'm sure you're listening. Gina came to the party and she was a little bit sad because she was like, I did not know what to wear. I couldn't decide what helped me shine. And she did end up wearing an outfit that we put together, but she wished that she had dressed up more because people came in like sequins and shiny things and like bright colors. And Chloette actually wore a beautiful two-piece green like short skirt and a crop top, and she looks so hot. I loved that. I'm like, I wish I could pull that off. And I wore this dress that made me feel like Cinderella. It was like the modern version of my quinceañera dress. I'm going to share a picture. I should put it on the blog. If you're listening to the podcast or watching me on YouTube, you know what? I'm going to find that picture from my quinceañera and put it next to the picture I wore for the party so that you can see like before, after. And it looks so similar, but I swear to you, the one I was wearing right now was a modern version. I'm not like in a tiara or anything, but I definitely wore sparkly shoes because the theme was to shine bright. And the party theme was just like perfect. I went up to the mic and I told people to shine bright tonight. There are 3 things that I want you to do. I said, number 1, I want you to go up to somebody. If you see someone alone, go up to them and start a conversation, because everybody here has a beautiful story. They're people I have worked with, I love, I trust. Go up to someone that might be alone. Number 2, I said, compliment someone on what they're wearing or their smile or their makeup or something you see about them that you really like, because you will help them shine brighter by complimenting them. Number 3, I told them to try on some kind of new piece. The party was hosted at a boutique, the Finery, and so I wanted to encourage people to try something new. The Finery has pieces that are very, very unique, pieces that they do not sell at just a regular retail store, and styles and colors that are bright and beautiful. And I wanted to encourage people to try something new and see if they could step into something different than what they normally wear. And everybody had so much fun. So let's do a recap on some of the party highlights. I'm sure there's more. If you went to the party, can you please share with me what your highlight was? I would love to know. So my party highlights. I don't even know where to start. Okay, let's start with number 1. This is more of a personal highlight, but it's still very important. My uncle came, and my uncle is this guy who is kind of reserved, but if you allow him to talk, he loves to share stories. And he has supported me from day one. When I told people that I was starting my business, he was the only one that did not question me. He didn't ask like if I was going to actually make it, where I was going to get the money, where were the clients going to come from. He didn't question anything. He was just like, okay, I'm here to help you. And he was the only family member that attended the party besides Michael, my fiance. And it meant a lot for me to have him there and represent my family. He's a very humble man also, and he also doesn't like to dress up. And what I mean by that is we went to a wedding last year, and I'm not joking, to the wedding, he wore shorts and a t-shirt. My uncle wore shorts and a t-shirt. I think that's a little disrespectful. And Michael and I had a conversation when we were planning the wedding, and we're like, we hope your uncle wears a suit. And guess what happened? At the party, he got inspired. He had so much fun. He was having his drinks, eating his food, and he tried on a suit and bought a suit, and it fit him so well. And that for me is a highlight. Like, he felt really good in it. That's a huge win. It's something that he would not do normally. And I didn't even ask him to wear something different. I didn't tell him like, you can't wear your t-shirt and shorts to the party. But for me, that was just very respectful. And for him to see like the impact that I've made. I don't think my family really sees much, obviously they see the house and they see all of this, but they haven't really been involved in my business. So for him to be there, I think maybe opened him up in a way, but it was awesome. Awesome. I'm going to share, if you go to the blog, actually, I'm going to have pictures so you can see my uncle. You can see everything I'm talking about. So if you want to see pictures of the highlights I'm sharing, go to the blog post and you'll see all the pictures. And if you attended the party, you might see yourself in those pictures too. Okay. We got to do, oh my gosh. Okay. So the party was going to be it was 3 hours. But I told people, the people that stay and linger on are people that just want to hang out and have fun. So after the 3 hours, we dimmed the lights in one part of the boutique and we opened it up to karaoke. I got to see clients go up and dance and sing and let loose. And I even went up and I sang Selena. So it was so much fun. We have pictures, we have videos of it. Another highlight was our photo booth madness. Funny story. Of course, I've shopped on Amazon for like this beautiful gold foil background. And I was like, that is perfect for the party. It's all sparkly. And then we're setting up the morning of. And I didn't open the package before the party. I bought it like maybe a few weeks before, but I left everything together in the garage for the party. And I was like, I'm just going to take it out and we're going to put it together when the party comes. So we take it out. I swear to you that that sheet that they showed on Amazon looked like a full-on wall, and when I opened that package, it was like a headshot. Like enough to cover for a headshot. I was so bummed. I was like, what are we going to do with the photo booth area? So we changed things around. That's what business is about and life is about anyways. How can you pivot? The pivot that we made is it fit perfectly behind the dessert table. Oh, I'm going to talk about the dessert table next, but fit perfectly behind the dessert table. And in the photo booth area, we actually ended up moving it out into the boutique because we were using the boutique and a hallway. We moved it out into the boutique, and there was the balloon arch that you make with all the balloons. We did that, and it was over some pieces of art in the boutique because they also sell furniture and art. And we had a sign that said, "Let's party," in bright pink. Oh, that photo booth area was like perfect. It was like on a small stage with the "Let's Party" sign. Everybody was like taking pictures, having fun. Again, go to the blog and you can see the photos, but that was a great time. And the Pinterest worthy dessert table, that was a huge party highlight. I know it sounds like a weird party highlight, but do you know how many times I have tried to do something from Pinterest and make it look like Pinterest pretty or Instagram pretty? You know, I'm sure you've done it too. Like you bake something and it looks so ugly and tastes so good. You're like, I'm not going to take a picture of this and share on Instagram. Like, I mean, you could, and you could say hashtag real life. But anyways, I created this dessert table and it looked beautiful. It looked perfect. It had that gold foil in the back that we were going to use for the photo booth. It had all the desserts lined up beautifully, and people were taking pictures of it. They loved it too, as much as I did. And that was a win. My first Pinterest worthy photos. I was like, this is good. I'm really happy about that. Another highlight was what I mentioned earlier, just seeing people connect. The beauty of the party is I got to watch people from all parts of my life, all different ages, all different industries come and like find something in common and talk. And they talked for a long time. It wasn't just like, "Hey, I'm Tanya. How do you know her? Where do you come from?" Like it was like actual real conversations of people getting to know each other. I saw people sitting on the couches that didn't know each other, talking, getting drinks together, taking pictures together and laughing. There is something about seeing people connect that really brings me so much joy. And I missed that from events. And as I was standing back and just taking it in at the party, I did have that moment where I got to just stand back. People weren't talking to me, and I just got to watch people. I really enjoyed it. I'm like, I want to do more of this, which is why with our style members, and TCE Insider members, we are going to be creating more events just to bring people together and get out of the house and meet someone new and shop and do fashion just like we used to. And I really wanted to bring that back. And this party was a huge motivator for that. And the last party highlight, of course, was just seeing the outfits, kind of like what I shared before. I loved seeing everybody dress up. It reminded me of the parties I used to have where, I mean, if you have the excuse, like, why not? You have the heels, you can put on your lipstick, put on a dress or some cool ripped jeans and a bright blazer. Like, you can go all out when you go to a fashion party. Like, there's no limit, and you can experiment and have fun and see a different part of yourself come out. So that was really, really fun for me too. I enjoyed it so much. I just want to close up by saying if you didn't come to the party, I wish you were there. And you can see all the highlights on the blog, and I got to share them with you. And for everybody that I've worked with, I just want to thank you for being part of my life and part of the journey. I know that we both have helped each other because I've been in your life helping you with your style, and with the business relationships I've had, we've definitely collaborated on just the funnest projects in the past 14 years, from like magazines to the Space Needle to doing a photo shoot in a, what's it called? Those places where you learn how to shoot a gun. We've done chocolate truffles. We've done models, just like all these fun, crazy projects in 14 years. And I am extremely grateful for the experience I've had as a stylist. If we've never worked together, I hope that we get to meet and work together soon, or you get to work with my team. It is truly it's a lasting experience that stays with you and you learn so much from it. If you really enjoyed this podcast and you've been a big supporter in the business or with the podcast for a long time, if you could take 30 seconds and just go and write a review on Apple Podcasts, I would really appreciate it. I want to continue helping people, reaching new people. And by doing that, it is by sharing the podcast or sharing a review so that we can reach more people. I want to give some quick thank yous first to the Finery for hosting the event. It was a full circle moment because when I first started my business, when I was 22 years old, I went there, I got my photos done there for my website. And at that time, nobody knew who I was as a stylist or in the industry. And they let me borrow an outfit and feel so pretty. I want to also thank Salon 8 for working with our clients and just aligning really well with the way that we go through our process with people, really getting to know them and providing wonderful customer service. Skin Spirit for giving a percentage off all of their facials and Botox. Ted Baker for giving us gift bags that we could use. Vincent Bellevue for just partnering with us the past few months and being so wonderful with our clients. They help us with clients out of state and in state and give that perfect experience that we want our clients to feel when they go into a store. Nordstrom Beauty for giving samples to everybody. Prohibition Wines for giving us the free tastings. Kwanzaa Events for helping with the catering. They did a wonderful job. And Jonathan also got in the party, talking to people, taking photos, and gave it just like an extra splash of experience for everyone. Rebecca from Happy Homes for gifting us her book and also 10% off of her interior design services. Denny Luna for reading Lips at Night. You got to put on some lipstick and lip gloss, kiss it, and she was able to share your style, or not your style, your personality traits with you. And hugs to everybody. Thank you so much for being there. Continue building a life and style that truly reflect you. And I will catch you next time.